Hi, everyone. I'm missing Sunday night, and we've only missed one so far. But I've just really been thinking about the disciples again and all the things that they did and were around and the things they did after. And they're just amazing. And maybe we could talk about the disciples. Andrew is our first one. That starts with an A. So we'll talk about Andrew. Andrew was Peter's brother. And it says in many of the places that Andrew was one of the first ones to follow Jesus. Now, I'm sure that could be or could not. It's just one of those things. But Andrew was a special man in the Bible, but he was a great disciple. He followed Jesus all the days of his life, just like every single one of them. But I just want to talk to you just a little bit about your imagination. If you have the book on Andrew, I think it's called The Power of Imagination. If you want to go through that again, I'm going to get it out, go over it a little bit, but I'm just really, really encouraged that our imagination is so important. And as Pastor keeps talking about, is to live more in our inner man than our outer man, living in our spirit or walking in the spirit. I think it was Mike Pizzoni who came to church last Sunday, and he said to me, I'm just so, I don't know, I don't want to use the word I'm drunk in the spirit, but I'm just so full of God, and I want more and more of him. And I do too. And I know you do too. I don't want us to miss out in the next 2 months of just feeling like we have all that God has for us. And I really, really strive and work hard to have everything God has for us. I wrote a little message or a little thought down on Sunday when I was listening to the message. And I said this: let's walk in the Spirit more every day. Let's do it. When anger wants to rise up in our heart, let's stop and walk in our spirit and not get angry. Walking in the spirit, using your imagination. Again, I talked to you about, let's see the church full. When we come to church on Sunday, let's pretend that we can't move because there's people right next to us and we can't, and we're going to be happy about that. We're going to be happy that someone took our seat because the church is going to be full. So let's see that. Let's use our imagination, the power of our imagination. Again, let's see Pat walking. Let's see Jack laughing and dancing and talking their testimony. Let's do that. And I wanted to read to you out of The Circle Maker, our new book. And it's on, let me get there really quick because it talks about imagination. Let me look. Okay, I just saw it a minute ago. Oh dear, where did it go? Okay, I'm still looking because he talks about the backstory. It's on page 21 and it's the very first paragraph. He says here, every book has a backstory. And I believe that every life has a backstory. There's a moment when an idea is conceived in the imagination of the author. Just what we're talking about, using our imagination. And this book has a backstory when the idea was conceived in the imagination of the author. I like that because you know what? You're writing a book, you're writing a story. Your life is writing a story, and there is a backstory because your imagination brought it to pass. Let me tell you a story. I'm so excited about it. Pat and Mary Savage. I just believe the miracle, the manifestation is so close. It's just right there on the edge, just waiting to happen. So get excited for the things God is doing in his life. There was a young man, his name is Coleman, and he was working in their laundry room, trying to get it ready for shower. And that his Jim Miller, hi Jim, was with him, helping him. And Jim was talking to him about the things of God and just ministering to him and, all the things that Jim has gone through. What a great testimony you have, Jim. And as he was talking to him, Coleman got sick. He was, but he stayed to continue his job. And by the time he got home, he had been throwing up and being very sick. And when he got home, his wife, Ava, our granddaughter, she asked him, "What is wrong with you? You look sick." And he said, "Oh," he said, "I'm not feeling good at all." And she saw, his face looked flush. It wasn't, and his lips were white, and he was just not feeling well at all. And he said, "But before I go lay down, I want to tell you about Jim." So he started talking to Ava about Jim and how much Jim had ministered to him and talked to him about. In fact, Coleman went as far to say, "I want to be just like Jim when I grow up." And as he was talking, Ava looked at his face and saw pink come to his face, saw his lips become normal. He was totally healed talking about Jim. Coleman was totally healed. You guys, that's an amazing story. A miracle was happening in that room while Jim and Coleman were fixing. And I just believe that miracle is going to spread throughout that house. And I am expecting the manifestation of God to happen in Pat's life. In fact, that evening, Pat had a seizure. But you know what? I believe that his body was pushing back from the miracle, the healing that was coming into his life, the manifestation that is happening already in his body. And so, let's see that. Let's use our imagination and go far enough just to see Pat well, healthy and whole, walking and talking and having a great life, the life that God has for him. I want to encourage you today. What do you need in your life? Can you imagine it? Can you see yourself walking whole? Can you see yourself walking with knees not hurting? Arthritis has to go. Things in our body want to creep up. The enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy. Let's fight back. Let's be what God has called us to be. Let's fight back. And let's use it in our imagination. See it happen. Let's do it. I'm with you. Let's go. God is so good. You guys have a great week. Love you.